Greetings and aloha. What's going on? It's Mike from livemyassoff.com, living safely. So remember yesterday when we kind of cruised around and I started like on one phone and I moved around and did some outside stuff. And again, you guys got to remember that like part of the reason or part of the enjoyment for me of doing this is actually the technical side, which I'm quite confident is not the enjoyment that the viewers are looking for. So I get that. But what I'm going to do today, because I think I found the right stuff and I tested it as best I can, we're going to start here at the villa. We're going to get on the motorbike and I'm going to drive down to what's called Buddha's Footprint. I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know what to expect there. I also don't know if I'm going to be able to live stream the whole time there, but we're going to try it. So I have basically I have the mobile broadcast studio in here, meaning that I have my laptop, a second phone, a tertiary phone, and then, well, good morning, Aztec baby. How you doing there, my friend? Thank you. Wait, hold on. Oh, wow. It shows me thumbs up. I didn't know it showed me thumbs up on StreamYard. So that's cool. So thank you for the thumbs up. Anyway, so I got my backpack. I got my thing that you probably haven't seen me wearing in a while because they don't really wear them here at the resort. It's like only when I go outside. Let me turn down. Do you say turn down or turn up the air conditioning? I say turn down when what I mean is actually increase the temperature. Weird, right? Anyway, and my water. So I got to stay hydrated for the broadcast and for the ride. And as you might guess, let me just clarify this right now for some of you, but more importantly, my mom. When we're riding on the motorbike, I will not be answering or looking at comments. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on. I'll strap it on once I get down there, but I'll get this. So basically, this is the way I'm going to carry this to the motorbike. And hey, Todd, glad you're here, buddy. Thank you for coming by. But more importantly, I'm really honored that you shared that video with me yesterday. That was really cool, man. Okay, so going there, and I'm staying here for one more night. So we'll probably have like a beach walk tomorrow morning or something like that. And again, I have no expectation that this will work 100% of the time. I'd like it to, but if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But what I figured out a way to do is strap my second phone onto the mirror of the motorbike. And so there'll be vibration, right? Because it's not like strapped to my body, because I just couldn't figure out a solution to that. Even though I tried different pieces of Velcro and that sort of thing. I even shaved my chest and used double sticky side tape. That's how committed I am. Kidding. So anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this phone. Am I going to put this phone down? Yeah, because actually some of the stuff I'm going to take out of my backpack and put under the seat of the motorbike. Because, you know, like most motorbikes, right, it's got space. So what I do is I put like the heavy items in there. If I could fit everything, if I could fit everything in there, I would. But the tripod won't fit in there. So anyway, and if, oh, dude, you are a champion. Don't do anything risky, though. Oh, no. Trust me, dude. I'm not doing anything risky. What I did is I actually, as part of the technical test this morning, I tested to make sure that while I was riding with this on the handle or mirror, strapped to the mirror, I wouldn't be distracted. So anyway, so I'm basically just emptying out my backpack right now. Then we're going to switch to the second phone that we're going to strap to the mirror. So, and what's amazing, and here's, you know how like I've complained about my laptop and that sort of thing, but here's the cool part. The laptop is so small. And as you know, like Honda clicks are everywhere and it's basically what you end up renting. I can like fit my laptop right in here, dude. That's pretty sweet. But I'm also going to put the gimbal in there because the gimbal's heavy and get the weight off of my shoulders. Oh, and I don't know, I only went live on Facebook yesterday. If you guys are on my Facebook, then maybe you saw the quick little live stream I did from over there. But I know you guys, like me, are fans of CB Media. And so I cruised over. I was just like driving down the street and I'm like, oh my God, there's the CB Media barbed wire. So I climbed underneath the barbed wire and went over there. And as it turns out, that lookout point that he went to, it's literally right across the rocks from my beach here at Crystal Bay. I was like, oh my God, the infamous small world, right? I mean, again, it's an island. There's only a finite amount of places he could have gone, right? But it's just so close to me. I was very surprised. Okay, so for the most part, the weight that I have still in the backpack. Oh, I'm going to take that out too because that does weigh a lot. And I don't know if I'm going to need it today. Naturally, I'm bringing an umbrella because it's Thailand. Okay, so there we go. And then I have another one of these. I have one of these bags that like folds up into itself, right? And this is actually a backpack, believe it or not. So it's really lightweight and thin. So I bring this with me because if one's good, then two's better. So let me see here. Okay, so, and again, of course, you know, doing life with one hand is less than efficient. And let me take my glasses off for this setup. That way I can see the comments. Scuba Tom, hey, thanks, man. How can I be the man if you're the man? Good to see you, man. Sometimes it looks like resolution goes from 420 to 720 and back. Yeah, I have a feeling. Well, so I'm on LTE, and right now it shows me that my signal level is like half. I know where the tower is, but still, it's, you know, not close. At the gym, just ran a third of a mile, 126, 1 mile. Okay, so I don't know if MedTech can do this. MedTech, if you can share the video, or actually, I think if you guys just go to his channel, he sent me a video yesterday that he did. He ran a mile. No, I'm sorry. Okay, he ran a quarter of a mile in 1:05, and like on the treadmill, it took like almost 15 seconds for it to get up to like speed, and then he is like sprinting for the remaining 45 seconds. He's a star. He is what he's what makes the cool kids table actually fit. I think I'm what makes it entertainingly positive. How's that? But he was an absolute rock star. And so I'm live on Facebook and YouTube right now. And again, those are pretty much the heavy items that I think I can put underneath there. I got my water. So anyway, all right, cool. So, all right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use this phone that's actually in my hand right now as the tether to the internet. And then we're going to use this phone as the one that we do the broadcasts with. So this will take me a few seconds, as you guys know. But again, as I mentioned, part of the enjoyment for this for me is the technical part. So there we go. So that's my Huawei. This is my Pixel. So if I enter the broadcast studio on the Huawei here, and okay. So now we got the two phones, and we're going to switch to the Huawei. And let's go to here, and then let's remove this from the stream. And so this is the main stream. And then I want to remove this. And there we go. Okay, so we are tethered to this baby. We're live on this baby. And I don't even like babies. Okay. So, and this, the other thing that I found out, which you're going to see here in a second, is how to turn the silly camera around in settings. And so I want to, once again, thank StreamYard for allowing that feature to occur, because obviously with a phone, you want to be able to switch back and forth to the cameras. And I'm going to strap this on in a second before I leave, trust me. So a couple other things. So one of the things actually that I want to say, because of like other the stuff that I do on this channel, as far as like, you know, live streams go, and how, you know, if you do it live, there's a chance it's going to mess up. Rike puts out this video yesterday about the easiest way to do live streams. And I almost like posted of like hashtag don't do it how Mike does it. All right, so we're going to strap this now onto the bike, and I'm going to switch it around so that I don't have to do that later. And soon you will be able to see the front of what the bike sees and foliage. So there we go.
I'm quite certain that once I start going, the the sound will be, you know, like a ton of wind noise. But I was able to do this okay last time, or at least this morning when I tried it. Whoops, there's the horn. He might, you think? And okay, hold on. Okay, there's that, and then what I got to do is I got to put a second piece of Velcro on there to make sure that it stays. I'm trying to remember where I put the silly Velcro, of course. Stand by. This is probably why I get thumbs down, huh, guys? Okay, good. I know where it is. Awesome. That, and then I got this. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I got some extra Velcro. Okay, hold on. Before I forget, let me do this. And we'll be ready to jam safely. Wait for the click. Bam. Okay. Now, what I'm doing is basically, if you know where I am, I'm in Crystal Bay, of course, but I'm also north of Lamai. And from here, I'm basically heading south. And so, or we are heading south. Like it or not, you're coming with me. Ooh, that wasn't that tight. It's gonna bum me out. I was able to get it pretty darn tight this morning, so we're gonna go for prettydarntight.com here. And because, well, it's only a $100 phone, I'd rather not lose a $100 phone. And wow, there's still 10 of you guys. Thank you, and thank you for the 2 thumbs up. I really appreciate it. My ego is fragile, as you know. Okay, there we go. There's the Velcro, and of course it worked for the space program, so why won't it work for us, right? Band-aids in the backpack. I do have band-aids in the backpack. And all right, sorry if that went out for a while. And we're going to leave this one up there. I think that's the best comment we could ask for right there. And all right, so got my glasses into the dirt. And there we go. All right, so backpack goes on the back because that's what it's supposed to do. And I think we're ready. Okay. And no, he's not yelling at me in Thai. Don't worry. Well, he might be. Okay. All right, guys. This is a first. Certainly for me. I'm sure it's been done before. Cutting up. Ooh, and I only have 2 bars of gas. I need to get fuel. So you guys can join me for that as well. Cop. Okay, so it looks like it's going okay. And I'm going to close my screen so it doesn't touch the screen and make changes to it. So there we go. So it's black for me. So I can't really see whether this is working or not, but that's probably okay. Oh, this road is it's like foot-long pieces of concrete that are all separated by 4 inches. Can you tell? Mike, how are you going to test? All right, I don't know if that worked or not, but I just got here to this. It says that I'm still live, so I'm just going to basically keep talking until, because the interesting thing is usually it'll stop if there's like no connection over to YouTube. Because if I'm not doing it correctly, then, or if it's not streaming correctly, then it'll just sort of stop. And I was driving, and I can't see when that comment came in. And, oh my God, really? Hey, cool. I don't know how long I was black. The screen was black. I apologize. It was really long. But this is not where I wanted to go initially. But as I was driving by, I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. Let me just double check, make sure they don't have an issue with cameras here. Okay, so wear the proper clothes and take off your shoes if we go up there. We may go up there. Let's walk around here for a second. See, here's what's really neat, right? So they like give merit in various different ways. And it's interesting because they will leave it in various places. And I actually don't know what happens to this money. I don't know whether I mean, I know no one steals it, but I don't know whether like the monks come by and get it like once a day, or they leave it there for a while in the, with the idea that, hey, you know, someone wanted to, you know, do this for good luck, basically. And so, see, and here, the other thing too is I was driving around and I see this thing and I'm like, oh my God, I've got like solid glass to my phone, but I don't know how bad it was. I can't imagine it was bad that long, black that long, because I would guess that it would have stopped. But anyway, I'll know on the playback. And thank you so much for the 10 people that stuck around. I really honor you guys. I guess that's obviously the restroom down there. And then it looks like there's little houses or bungalows. I'm not quite sure whether, I mean, the monks could live there for all I know. But I think we should go inside. Now, I'm not going to talk once we go inside. So I'll just show you guys stuff, and then we'll go from there. It's weird. I've never seen one all one color. It looks like the color of, if you guys ever did any body work on cars, it looks like the color that Bondo gets when it dries. So hold on here. Let's do this. Hi. Okay, I'm going to do this, and actually in doing so, I remembered, hey, guess what? You've got your helmet on. I unstrapped it, but I forgot to commit. You know what's really cool about like basically being forced to have a face mask is every time I'm on the motorbike, I've got something to like cover my nose and mouth, which is great because if you notice, I was on was behind a truck that was powered by diesel fuel, and the exhaust was filtered by an open pipe. So, Daniel, glad you're here. Met Tech. Good that you're talking to Aztec. That's awesome. And there we go. What's up, doctor? All right, hold on. I'm going to flip this around again, and we're going to go inside. We're going to kick it with the Buddha. Of course, I think if I make noise in there, it's probably still not going to overpower that giant backhoe over there. So, not too worried about that. Anyway, so, of course, I dropped my glasses. Let me see here. Of course, I double knotted them. Double knotted with single finger. Oh, and if you don't know, so this thing right here, right? I got this, actually, the colored and the white one, when I was on Koh Chang, and I hung out with the Buddha. And you know, the ceremony is they put that around they tie it around your wrist, right? And you know, I gave like, I don't know, I think I gave him 100 baht because he gave me 2 of them. Because initially he just gave me the colored one, and I'm like, well, no, I want the white one. The white one's the traditional one that I see most Thais wearing. All right, let me put my glasses back on. I'll do that on the way out. Actually, no, I'll do it right now because otherwise I'll forget. Watch it blow away in the wind, of course. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I'm the only one in here, so I guess I can talk. Let's see. Okay, cool. Yes, you can see it. Ah, I've never seen this before. If any of you guys know what this is for? Oh, it's for money. People throw money in there. It's interesting how it's like so sort of rough around the edges. And I didn't know there was the opportunity. I'd rather throw my money in there and make a wish than put it in that plywood box. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Can I zoom in on this? No, I don't think so. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Makes me feel good being in here. I don't consider myself Buddhist. I mean, I consider myself Buddhist more than any other religion, quite frankly. But you know, I think the reason for that is the fact that I believe in the statement that I heard a while ago that Buddhism isn't necessarily a religion; it's more of a way of life. And plus, you know, if I ever get lazy and I don't, you know, want to cut my fingernails, clearly they're cool with it in this religion. Plus, there's a whole lot of smiling, really, that's going on in the statues. And every time I see like a human on a wall, no offense, but they don't have big nails through their wrists. I just think that makes more sense to me. Again, I get that, and I'm not really being flippant about that. I mean, I get that religion is not, you know, there's limited logic to it, right? I mean, there's a whole blind faith attached to it, which I think is really kind of part of the cool process. So, all right, so 15 of you are still there, and so thank you guys so much. We are 33 minutes in, and I believe I'm about, I'm less than, I actually don't know how far I am to the footprint of the Buddha. So let me check my Google Maps while I put my shoes back on. Oh, so remember how we were talking about ASICs, guys? So my ASICs like completely died. Like basically these are brand new Nikes. But imagine like this thing is like the whole green part like peeled off. Like that's where my ASICs ended up. So I got these Nikes. They're pretty good. They're supposed to be running. I'm pleased with the padding inside, and you can like really hit them pretty hard running. So I think my knees are going to be okay when I run a little bit. And they were like, shoot, how much were they? Like 2,000 baht or something like that. So, this is a popular daytime for vloggers to do live streams. 2 other vloggers are doing. Yeah. Many guys do that too. Buddha was born rich, forsook it all to seek enlightenment. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to. I don't have a tripod or anything with me right now, so I don't know how I'm gonna put this down. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can do this for a little bit. There we go. Yeah, my knowledge of like Buddhism is pretty limited, Daniel. I understand, like when people say, oh yeah, he sought enlightenment and all this, I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I don't really know what that means. Like, I don't know what his ceremony to do that was. But again, I kind of like it. I kind of like the whole, just sort of blind faith thing. I don't really need, I don't need explanation, The engineer in me really doesn't care why Buddhism is Buddhism. I just know that, like, every time I go to a Buddhist temple, when I leave, I feel better than when I got there. So that works for me. So, all right, we're going to get back on the bike. We're going to strap on, and we're going to keep going. And until this little live stream thing stops counting, basically, we're live streaming on a motorbike. And there you go. All right, there we go. Good. Cool. As long as I don't hit that end button, I should be good. Damn it. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to do this and then strap on, and we are on our way, my friends. Okay. Kind of like an AA meeting, feeling better after you leave. Absolutely. So was my whole ride like blacked out or like frozen or something? Anyway, it looks like this now. We'll keep the streaming going. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna get on the bike. I thought if I blanked out the screen, then it would work okay. But I guess if I blanked out the screen, you guys didn't see any of the ride, huh? Sorry about that. Part of the learning. I should have monitored this on YouTube first, but I didn't think to do that. All right, you heard the click, so now my... All right. Now my helmet is on. Get ready to go. Let me double check on Google Maps, and we'll be living the dream. Okay, looks like I got 7 minutes. 7 minutes of drive time, and I got 63% on this battery, which is good, and I got a battery with me. We're going to go down actually towards sort of the aquarium and tiger zoo. After going to that tiger place in Phuket with Gracie, I've since changed my belief as far as how they take care of the tigers. It is very difficult to get real data on that, though, which really bothers me. What did I say? 7 minutes? Okay, so because the clock on this display is wrong, but as long as I just add 7 minutes, it says 7:13 on it right now. So, all right, and put my glasses on so I can actually see the road. I know, little wind. All right. if you can hear me, I need to report to you that it's raining. I don't like to think of this $100 phone as disposable, but that might be the that might be the result. That was the coffee shop that was closed back there, where I could duck in for some. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be so bad. I'm waterproof. It's just that my phone is not. Actually, you know what? I think I know where we can hang out while some of this rain possibly passes over. I've been here before. I don't know, guys. It's actually, I mean, it's spitting a little bit, but I mean, as far as Thailand goes, it's not raining. So I think we're going to, oh, I don't know if you guys heard me say this the other time when I was driving down the road, but have you guys been counting the 7-Elevens I've been driving by? This person, yeah, they're going to go. If you don't know, Fords, like the SUVs and stuff, you know, they're really reasonably priced here as far as cars go, because they manufacture them here. And if you know anything about Ford, for the most part, they pretty much only manufacture SUVs, trucks, and Mustangs anymore. So they may be doing a sedan, but I can't remember. Yeah, I think the good news on this rain is that it's not so significant that the, I think that the, so you know, so Nathon Beach is actually basically where one of the ports are. There's like 2 or 3 ports. The one that I came in is referred to as the sea transport. It's pretty much every ferry kind of has their own port. So it's not like one port and all the companies share it. So the pond here is basically for sea trans, and that's the one that I came here with. I actually should get a cup of coffee. I kind of want some coffee. And I love iced coffee. Rike, if you're watching, I don't know if you saw that sign back there that said Monkey Show. Have you guys ever ridden a motorbike when it's raining? You know how my skin feels right now. I need some water, I think. That's about how much rain we're getting. It's not intense. I didn't think to bring, I mean, I brought my umbrella, but I didn't think to bring my, my poncho. So. You know what I'm going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I saw a little table back there. I don't have any fantasy that I'm going to be able to keep my bike dry. Although it is Thailand, and you can usually... Cool. That works. Improvise, gentlemen. Improvise. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm wiping the water off of my glasses. And with any luck, you guys are still with me. Let me show you where I'm going to hang out here. So, oops, sorry. Oh, all right. Let me see if, okay, so it's still counting up, and it seems like you guys are still there. You ain't made of sugar, you won't melt. I know I won't melt, but it's, I don't know if you can see if it's raining more or not. Are you guys there now? I hope you are. 18 people watching and 3 thumbs up. So hopefully you got a little bit of that ride. But I'm going to hang out here. I'm going to basically make this my table. I got the whole thing going on right here. And of course, as you know, since I'm Mike's, then therefore, you know exactly what I swear to God, I would forget that I have this on, which I suppose is a very good thing as far as safety goes. But yes, I have water. But more importantly, it's kind of like one of these, it's cloth, but it's kind of like a paper mask. So, about ready for a Mike and Tyke, Jared. You know what's funny is we talked about, I actually pinged him on that. He and I chatted the other day, and so he's obviously in Bangkok, and I didn't realize that he was like preparing lesson plans and actually being an adult. Because I'm like, dude, it's Thursday. You don't start work until next week. Get your ass on a plane and come down here to Koh Samui. He's like, no, Mike, I have a real job. I'm like, yeah, you gotta figure that out. You gotta double click on that. I'm trying to get a tripod of some sort so I can like set this thing up and not hold it with my caffeinated hand. But again, as mentioned, there we go. All right. Hold on. I travel with my own 100s. And the other nice thing, too, is that I just stopped at a Family Mart, and they sell 100. All right. What do you guys want to see? You want to see the roadway? Yeah, let's do that. I'll do this. There we go. Okay. All right. Where's the light coming from, though? I guess we'll do it this way. So greetings and aloha. What's going on? It's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com. How'd you like that 50-minute intro? But yeah, I got my 100. I have a very bad memory, though, so I apologize. I can't remember who I'm supposed to thank for this. I know that I got some mango money yesterday. I love this, guys. You see that? Long live the king. Say what you will, you know. I mean, well, don't, actually. But, hey, Joe. Good to see you, man. That's awesome. Thank you guys for coming by. Go more. Yeah, so the whole walk and talk thing, dude, I says, yeah, it's tough holding out a job as a teacher when you didn't go to college for it. I mean, it depends, right? I didn't go to college to be a teacher, but I get ridiculously excellent ratings. I can tell you that right now. Where am I heading? So right now, I'm heading to what's referred to as Buddha's footprint. and I think I only put up part 3 of the Kosi Chong stuff that Gracie and I did. And the nice thing is I'm under a metal roof, so that's kind of a good indication of like how raining it is, you know? It'll depend on the noise. And so I'm going to that red dot, which is called Buddha's Footprint. And so it looks like I'm about 7 minutes away. And so that'll be pretty easy. Let me not take up every single flat space. I'm gonna get my bag. Hold on. Hello, Kyle. Hey, Mark. She's doing the same thing I did. She drives right up here. So now I've got a mild fan club. But anyway, I'm only taking up one table now. And these are my new friends. Say hello, YouTube. So that was a great smile. Man, that was so cool. And so anyway, so I'm going to what's called Buddha's Footprint. And on Kosi Chong, there's this like giant hill. Like we walked it all. It was easily 500 steps. Most steps we've ever been. I hope you are. I am live this time. I am, David. Absolutely. I'm live. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube and on Facebook. Before I was only live on YouTube, right? When you like posted that thing. But anyway, I was answering this question. I forgot to display it. Sorry, man. So I'm going to Buddha's Footprint. Anyway, on Kosi Chong, there's Buddha's Footprint. And what we experienced there, after getting all the way up to the top of the mountain, was that there was this like, it wasn't man-made. In other words, I mean, it's so far away. It's like, it's not like this crazy tourist attraction where like busloads of Chinese are going to come and then all of a sudden, you know, that entire bus is going to walk 500 steps vertical. That's not happening. But there was it wasn't like a concrete thing, you know, where you would like, you know, put your foot impression into it and stuff, but it kind of looked like that. It was indeed natural. It was like a rock or whatever. And they view that as like, okay, the Buddha was here and he like put his foot there. And so therefore it's sort of ceremonial. The next video that I release is going to be us, Gracie and I, getting to almost the top of it and having this interaction with a Thai guy who spoke zero English. Thank you, Google Translate, because I used that for the entire thing. We just like talked back and forth in it. So I was able to understand kind of what he was getting at. As you might guess, speaking of the king, he referenced, I think this current one is Rama 9, maybe, I can't remember. I think he might be Rama 9, but the previous king, his father, King Bhumibol, you know, if you don't know, I mean, that guy was really, people loved him. The Thai people adored that king. And so he told me many stories of when that king, you know, came to the island and that sort of thing. So I'm going to Buddha's Footprint. And actually, like, the rain is effectively stopped. But I'm going to chat a little bit longer. And I'm going to have a little bit of this and answer some of your questions. Okay, so was I a teacher? I want to be clear on this because in higher education, the words professor and full professor, I mean, believe it or not, they mean significantly different things. It's kind of like I'm a lawyer just because I passed the bar, and I'm a lawyer because I passed the bar, but I also have a JD. So in other words, you have a Juris Doctorate. Basically, you have like a PhD in law. And those are the people you want to hire. The people that they hire are people that just basically went to law school, didn't necessarily get a JD, but I mean, of course, paralegals as well. Anyway, so I was. Let me use really the correct label in higher education. I was a facilitator. So therefore, I didn't have like a teaching credential, but I have a Master of Science in Executive Leadership, and I was part of starting this mentoring program after my graduate degree, where we would offer these leadership classes to the undergraduates. And I was honored, and I didn't like know this. I was told this because they rate everybody, right? And of course, I was facilitating it with full-on PhDs, with a JD. I mean, I was literally the only person in the classroom that didn't have a doctorate, as far as who was up in front of the room. And we did these leadership classes, and I was so honored because this never happened. I mean, this was an additional class that the students had to pay for on top of like their regular class load. And at USD, like, classes aren't cheap, dude. It's $1,500 a unit, and most classes are 3 units. So imagine like paying $4,500 to go learn calculus. It's just like Anyway, it was very expensive. We sold $250,000 bachelor's degrees where I worked. So anyway, so I would facilitate. And the thing that I'm talking about that I was just absolutely blown away, honored by, is that after taking this class, like students came back to take it a second time. And then they helped mentor the other students that were taking it for the first time. And naturally, right, my cynical mind, when the student showed up for the second time, I'm like, oh, like I screwed up the first time, right? And they're like, no, dude, I want to do this again. I want to do this again. I want to tell all my friends. I want to, you know, and I'm like, okay, like, I mean, you know, you got to pay, right? They're like, yeah, don't worry about it. In fact, I got a buddy of mine. He doesn't have any money. I'm going to bring him and pay for him. And it's like, wow, thanks, man. So, and the reason I very clear that I was a facilitator was the fact that professors teach, but then they have to grade homework. And I don't do that. I like to come in, wave my arms in the air, get a ton of praise, and basically leave. And then usually what would happen, because most of the students would be juniors and seniors, is they would connect with me on LinkedIn, and then we would stay connected. So, for example, I still have like regular Google Meet or Zoom calls with students that have like started their own company or started their own thing, and they're entrepreneurs, and I get, you know, I give them my input. Oh, hey, somebody come. Kun Shurai Krab. What's your name? Anat? Anat, hello. Hello. This is YouTube. You know what YouTube is? Live YouTube. They seem happy. That's good. Oh, good. I just like right over my shoulder. Got a fan right here. This is so cool. Actually, don't know. Oh, when am I going to get some silly YouTube thing? Oh my God, you have children in your video. Oh, for the love of God. I hope not, because they're cool. Anyway, so that was my sort of extent of presentation and education. Now, also, I was a guest speaker. Okay, so I had a very good friend who was a professor at the University of Phoenix in San Diego, and she brought me in as a guest speaker, and I did that twice. And in it, I would do like sort of, and I'm kind of experiential. So we would do like these exercises where like, you know, everyone would stand up and they would all participate, or they would like basically count off 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'd have 4 groups. And then we would talk about like sort of the four personality traits of identifying someone using the DISC profile. If you know anything about Myers-Briggs, DISC is just simply a much simpler way, and I would submit a great way to learn about your followers as fast as possible, allowing you to be the most effective leader. So anyway. Whoops. Good morning, sir. Good to see you, Stuck. Don't forget to have the light. How cool is Stuck in Florida, dude? I mean, it's like you and Gomar Hike. You guys are the Do More Life fan club, right? You come over here and like, you know, try to do the thumbs up thing, which is really cool. So you heard that, right? So I mean, the rain came, and then it left, came, so now it's left again. And what stinks, literally, is that when the rain goes away, the smell of, I believe, a dead animal of some kind around here, like, kind of starts fermenting. So I would like a little breeze, but what I want and what happens are often not. David asked, did you ever get to Phnom Penh near Hong Kong? There's a huge statue of Buddha on that mountain. I refrained from walking up all of the steps to reach it, but enjoyed the incredible gondola ride across the bay, high above the ships to get the village beneath the status. Yes, and in fact, all you need to do is Google Phnom Penh, P-I-N-G, 360, or not Google it, but you need to, like, you know, go to my channel, and then there's like a little magnifying glass on the right. Type that in. Actually, just type in 360 because that's sort of like the village that's like up there. And so so I have a video of us taking the tram, of us getting off, of us walking up through the village, and of us walking up the steps, and then us getting up to the top. And that was actually one of the first places that Gracie and I counted steps. And I believe if you see my video from Prachak Kurikan, in the beginning of us walking up of the 396 steps, I believe, that were there, we referenced the number of steps that were at Phnom Penh. So, yeah, it's very cool. I love it, and it was one of those great things. And the neat thing is that when we were there, it wasn't excessively busy. it was pretty busy coming back down, but we went at a good time, and we were actually there like basically during high season. Pretty cool, yeah. Did you ever meet Steve Jobs? No, I never met Steve Jobs. I did meet Steve Wozniak. And Steve Wozniak is sort of he's more of my style. He's obsessed with technology. He's not as extroverted, let's be clear. But no, I was never into sort of the whole Apple culture and that sort of thing, so it was never one of those goals for me. My next sort of incredibly I mean, I have many people that I would like to meet and like pick their brain and talk like love. I'd love to meet. Well, my hero currently, actually for a couple of years, as far as business and technology globally, is Jack Ma. I believe he has added more value to China in the last 10 years than anybody else. Now, there's people that are very close second, okay? Not the least of which is Daniel, his current CEO, and of Alibaba Group, and he's one of his business partners. But hey, you can say wait, all of you on the motor? Oh, this is great. How many known song Sam see ha on motorbike? That's great. That's so cool. Oh my God, this is gonna be fun. I gotta watch this. People on YouTube love to see this. So if you guys have never seen that before, it's like so the entire family will in fact get up on this motorbike, and this is gonna be totally awesome. So this is fun. Shop, Mike. Yes, absolutely. That's okay, cool. So my buddy sits up front, and then these two guys are in back, and then the young lady sits in back. That's totally awesome. All right, I love it. Bye bye. That's great. That's so fantastic. Okay, so if you've ever heard guys talk about why they love the people in Thailand and why they live in a Thai village, that's a great example, but that's not the happen. Like, in other words, if I was not doing this and I like turned around, and I'll tell you something right now, if YouTube gives me some stupid strike because it's like, oh my God, you've got children in your video, then quite frankly, I think that's a problem with the leadership at YouTube. And maybe you need to seek some therapy, because if your default setting is to think, oh my God, there's children in the video, he must be manipulating them somehow. Well, look in the mirror, Sport Shoes, because I can tell you right now, those are the coolest people I've met all day today. All day. You guys, of course, but I already know you. But isn't that great? 5 people on a motorbike, baby. That's outstanding. I love it. Do you get their parents' consent to bring? Yeah, and I suppose that's, part. Well, she gave me a thumbs up, so I mean, who knows? Well, I don't know. Whatever. Just came to do more. Just came from the Do More Life. Oh, that's right. He does like an hour, basically, right? Like, doesn't he do like 9 in the morning kind of thing? Okay. Yeah, I suppose that's the issue, right? But of course, if I was walking down the street and all of a sudden some 17-year-old wanted to like sell me some coffee, then that would be okay, right? Yeah, great. Ridiculous. I'm not saying anything negative towards you, Daniel, trust me, but I understand why you submitted that. That might be there. Hey, Joseph. Good to see you, man. Oop. Yeah, I know who Steve Wozniak is. Pretty cool. Yeah, he was. I've met him a couple of times. The first time, and this is fairly recently. The first time was about, I guess it was like 5 years ago, and he was on the board of a startup. And I was at a tech conference. I can't even remember which one it was. But basically, he was up on stage, and they were talking about it was in like solid state storage, like flash storage. Kind of became more of a discussed norm. And so let's say, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 years ago, when companies like Pure Storage and that sort of thing like really became like, okay, this is like what you put in your data set. Like, you're no longer buying spinning disks, not just because you need massive performance. It was more like, okay, yes, it gives you more performance, but it's also ridiculous to like buy spinning disks, right? And anyway, but his company basically made a card. So you effectively like threw a card like on the motherboard, if you will. It wasn't that consumer-like. Like in other words, you would buy like a video card today, like an NVIDIA, and you put that on the motherboard instead of using the onboard video card. But it was a company like that. So I met him. I think it was VMworld. Anyway, regardless, I met him there, and then we chatted after during the. If you've ever been to one of these huge tech conferences, you know that like usually they'll start on a Sunday afternoon, and then they have like the opening keynote on Monday, and then another big keynote on Tuesday, and then Wednesday they'll have like kind of a, the lower level, like the lower level, but I mean still very important people like the CFO will talk, or the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, will usually lead the whole thing. President or the CEO will usually do the first keynote, and then on like Tuesday it'll be like the CTO, and he'll talk about sort of the technical vision. But then usually on Wednesdays there would be like a live band at night. And again, you're talking about conferences that I would go to that cost at least $1,500, sometimes $2,500 per person, just for the registration, just for the city lanyard. And so, I've been to like Aerosmith, for example, was at Cisco Live in San Diego, and I sent a message to Steven Tyler, and he was like totally busy, and I was like, because I wanted to give him massive crap because I haven't seen him. And so I wanted to give him massive crap for when I saw him at Playboy Mansion, because he was there for Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. So basically, you and then Steven Tyler was one of the judges, and he was surrounded by like 8, Playboy bunnies, and I wanted to give him massive crap about that, but I never interfaced with him when I was there. Anyway, so I saw him there, and then as it would have, like I was in San Jose or something, and I'm sitting in like a restaurant eating before my flight, San Jose Airport. And I get a message from my buddy who's like further off or something like that. He goes, dude, Waz is walking your way. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, well, yeah, it's San Jose. He's like probably coming back to go home or something, or he's going into Cupertino. And so I saw him and I said, hey, so anyway, but that's the extent that I know him. Michael Dell is probably the most visible IT celebrity, if you will, that I know. I know other IT celebrities like in my sphere quite well, but you guys wouldn't know their names. They're just, they're wonderful guys, and they're incredibly brilliant. It's just like, like Chad Sackich. Like, would you guys know that name? No, unless you work for like EMC, or you're into VMware, or you're part of the Dell Technologies mobile community, kind of thing. So Michael is really pretty much the only household name I know, I think. That'll be going to choice to see them if I go to Thailand. Just Pinto, relaxing and getting a positive dose of energy from Mike. Oh, no pressure. Not safe. Wait, what? Hold on. Mark Richard, not safe, my friend, but they also do it in the Philippines all the time. Oh yeah, I mean, again, look, I'm not deformed, okay, and none of my friends that sat in the back of the pickup truck cruising around my hometown, like after the Little League game. Like, I never played Little League, and I never went through that part of the ceremony, but I absolutely sat in the back of a pickup truck with some buddies. We didn't die. And yeah, I mean, people died that way. And that was horrible. And I see a bunch of people like cruising around, even on the freeway, really, in the back of a pickup truck around here. And yeah, I mean, it's not, it's not, look, here's the deal. Like, me riding this motorbike, even with a helmet, like, and shoes, I mean, define safe. I mean, I can tell you right now, like, when I got my motorbike license in, show what comment I'm talking about. When I got my motorbike license in California, like, I was riding around and everything. I did this, it was like basically 4 days. It was a great course. I'm so glad I took it. Not just to get the endorsement, because of the skill set. I mean, there are like things that I remember vividly from that class that I use when I'm like going around a corner now. Look way ahead. Wherever you look is where the bike is going to go. I keep saying, I love that. Like, great teacher. And at the beginning of the class, like, they would go around like, why are you here? Some people would be like, well, my husband bought me like, a Fat Boy for my birthday, and so I need to learn how to ride. And he got to me, and I'm like, well, I want to get my motorcycle endorsement so that I can get an international driving permit so that I can drive my motorbike in Bangkok. There is no way, or in Thailand, there is no way I'm driving a motorcycle on the freeway in California. That is deadly. And then we got to the field class, basically, where you rode around. And I love what my I wanted to say professor just because I'm just saying it, but basically what the teacher said, because we had like full face helmets and gear and boots and everything. I mean, he's like, look, riding a motorcycle is an extreme sport. Riding a motorcycle is an extreme sport. I love that. And he's like, because I used to ski as a little kid, and it was almost like I didn't really have a good day on the slopes unless I like sprained my thumb or like dislocated my shoulder. I mean, that was the, you know, the silly attitude you have when you're invincible at 17. And but I took that away from me. I took that away with me, and I shared that with Gracie. And thankfully, she's gotten a motorbike and she's learned how to drive it, and she's getting better every day at it. But she got a full face helmet, which is really cool. And she just got one for Durice too, and so I'm very happy about that. And again, you know, that doesn't mean their head's going to be fine, that they're going to, you know, fall off the bike and skin their knee or like completely, you know. So I mean, believe me, I get it. I am certainly not saying you're wrong, but you know, there's varying degrees of safety, and it's an interesting discussion, isn't it? Because like I would never get in a car without putting on my seatbelt in the front seat. But when I get an Uber or in a Grab, I sit in the back seat, and like it's not my default. It's not what I think about. Like there are some times when I'm cruising around and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to put my seatbelt on right now because we're like on the freeway, or we're in Thailand, or I'm on the I-5, and you know, whatever, in California. But you know, so it's an interesting topic actually. I like to sort of, well, talk about it as you just saw. I've been there 3 times now, and they haven't disappointed yet. There you go. Second Florida, I was going for Stain mostly. Yeah, no, Stain's pretty good. I like him. I have not been into, hey, Bob, good to see you, buddy. I haven't been into live shows for a long time. Here's the problem with what I did for a living in 2 scenarios. I absolutely, because we broadcast those guys, and the NFL is a complete pain in the ass. And I've done all the stuff behind. So when I go, it's like I can't enjoy it. I can't enjoy a football game. And I just don't like football to begin with. Hockey, ice hockey, I've broadcast those before in San Diego when we had the Gulls years ago. Our AM did that, and I like that. I love going. I love hockey games. Baseball, I can kind of go, and like if I'm there like hanging out with a friend or like friends or something like that, that's okay. But again, I mean, we broadcast the San Diego Padres for, well, certainly the whole time I was there, for 6 years at this one AM station. And it gets, I mean, you end up like going and fixing stuff. And so it's just kind of like, there's no sort of novelty in it. I'll give you a great example. And this is really kind of lame, is the novelty completely wear off of hanging out in the clubhouse. If you don't know what the clubhouse is, it's completely what they call the dugout, or the locker room rather. The locker room is called the clubhouse in baseball. And, you know, people would like give their right arm. I mean, they're like kids that would be like, oh my God, as long as I can go into the dugout, you know, in Major League Baseball. And I'm like, I have to go into one more friggin' dugout, you know? And so it's horrible, right? I mean, it's just like the fun of it is kind of diminished. So, Joseph Pinto, love your dose of positive energy. But thanks, man. That's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool you were a lecturer and have a master's degree. I barely got your bachelor's, meaning that like you got it or or you didn't get it. So trust me, dude. I mean, I got sober in my junior year. So like, trust me, I barely got my bachelor's degree. I had to repeat an entire, basically almost 2.5 full semesters of classes. And I had to get A's in every single class just so they would, sort of cancel out the F's that I got, so I could walk away after being 18 months sober, busting my ass for my bachelor's degree to get a C average. You want to talk about the difference between humility and humiliation. I mean, those were like neck and neck when I was doing that. So I understand what you mean by like, I barely got, you know, because I remember sitting down with the dean and he's like, okay, so like, you know, someone else wants your seat here, right? Like, you're not doing the work. You know, of course I weighed 130 pounds, my nose is bleeding, I'm vibrating, and I'm like, look, I know, I'm going to get sober, I promise I'm going to get sober. So I get sober, 90 days later, I go back into the dean, and I literally almost hugged the guy. I said, thank you so much for giving me a second, third, fourth, eighth, ninth chance. and not expelling me and letting me come back here. I'm like sober, 90 days or 100 days or whatever I had. And this is, I mean, if you know anything about college, obviously, you know that there's alcohol and drugs, right? But at San Diego State University back in the early 90s, it was like it was the whole like top 10 party schools on the list of Playboy party schools or whatever. And so with all genuine question, this is so adorable. The dean says to me, he goes, really, that's great, Mike. That's really great. Mike, do you think there's anyone else here, like, in the College of Engineering or maybe even at San Diego State University that might have a drug problem? And I'm like, well, considering my professor and I basically used to sell amphetamines out of his fridge in the lab, there's probably, and we had more demand than we had supply, trust me. And so I'm like, yeah, I think there's probably, he's like, well, where do I say, look, I go to meetings on campus. I said, here is my phone number. This is my name. I don't give a crap about my anonymity. If anybody needs to or wants to stay sober, you have them contact me. I will do anything to go get them and drag them to a meeting if they want to go or help them get sober. Meetings aren't necessarily the only solution. It's just what has saved my butt. But yeah, barely. But then I graduated and I got pretty good grades after that. Hey, Steve. Good to see you, man. Is the law in Thailand you can photograph anyone in the public domain? Honestly, I do not know. Mango Sticky Rice, aloha, man. Good to see you. That's great. Love your channel name. It's really hard to find someone that does that without asking for nothing. Oh, Mike, I might be coming on a B visa, dude. Nice work. Good for you. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, as long as you get the paperwork and you get the insurance and, you don't necessarily need a work permit. But if you're getting a B visa, then potentially you can get a work permit. But you basically don't really get a work permit till you get here. So, but congratulations, dude. That was my first visa that I had was a B visa. And it was more expensive, but it worked perfectly for me at the time. Max says you can share your business tech experience in Thai universities. They are hungry for information. They are. And, again, if I really kind of wanted to get back into the workforce in the sense that, like, I mean, I like being entrepreneurial. I like doing this. I like figuring out ways to, like, help improve the technology of this for other guys that have infinitely more subs than I do kind of thing, right? But again, let's be clear. I love the amount of subs that I have, and I love you guys as my subs. Because even if I get a thumbs down or whatever, I really don't care. But I don't have a whole lot of trolls because I don't believe that we have a culture that tolerates that kind of behavior. So I believe when people show up and they say, everyone's just like, nah, dude, yeah, I'm going to need you to move your desk. Like, yeah, you just move, so we don't have that here. So I love having 1,500 subs. But I also like doing the technology for that. But I always thought, I would, because I actually, as part of one of my trips here to Thailand, and actually, you know what I just thought of as I touched my face because I'm a face toucher, is that none of those kids, that lady, she didn't have a mask. That's sort of interesting. I just noticed that. Well, I guess wild success yields a bit of freedom, right? So I thought about Capricorn is the bank. Sorry. Chulalongkorn is a pretty good university. Assumption is arguably the USD of Thailand. I think it's called Kasastat, or King Monkut. I think that's how you pronounce it. But regardless, King Monkut has a really good entrepreneur program and an engineering program. So I would love to teach over there. But again, the good universities, pretty much, they only hire people that have PhDs. And if you look online, like at the professors at a lot of these universities, like the ones that I just mentioned, like 90% of the professors are, they don't have tenure over here like they have tenure, because the tenure system in the United States should be detonated. It's a friggin' ridiculous, absolutely antiquated system. Tenure is stupid. And unless you put some accountability in place, and most universities don't. And the cool thing, though, is that at least the people that don't have tenure, the people that are driving to give tenure or trying to get tenure, they really have to overwork themselves. And so therefore the student benefits from that. So that part about it I like. But then once they get tenure, then the students don't necessarily benefit because they're like, oh yeah, here's the PowerPoint of the presentation that I did 7 years ago. let's go over it again, and then here's your homework, and you can do it online. No, I hate that. If you're going to be a professor, be a damn good one. If it's going to be anything, be a damn good, quite frankly. The professors over here, their credentials are pretty significant. I would say about 40 to 50% of them that have PhDs from the United States. But yeah, I mean, I like the university community, provided that the students are hungry, right? Now, I've heard some chatter, but I've also heard, oh my God, all Thai girls want is your money, which is false. They don't all, and that woman and her friend and those, they were all, they didn't want my money. In fact, they were like, oh, the rain's gone, let's leave. Let's not hang out with this Farang because you might pay us. Come on. The university system over here is pretty darn good. The upper universities. But again, they're in a culture that doesn't necessarily fuel entrepreneurial spirit. It encourages it. But it's not, it's not as intense as, well, it's not like Stanford. In other words, if you don't invent a company while you're going to Stanford, it's like, well, sorry. And if you do, then it means you're going to be successful in some degree. Hike is pretty cool. Got a cool Dell story. Like, went out and grabbed a burger with it. Yeah, I don't really have it. I mean, yeah. He's a very regular guy. Here's the interesting thing about all the people whose names that are very visible, that are like stars in their own sort of thing. They're all pretty normal. There are the occasional ones that are arrogant jerks, just like there are people that work at a 7-Eleven that are annoying and jerks. They're just more visible, so people talk about him. Oh my God, that guy he didn't sign my autograph, so therefore he's a horrible person globally. No, maybe he just disliked you. But yeah, Michael used to come to our user group meetings, and he would sit down and eat a little bit. I mean, he's busy, okay? Like, I mean, his handlers were. Here's a good Michael Dell story. So the reason that Michael Dell came to our first meeting is that he was pretty active on Twitter. I don't know if he is anymore. He's more active on social media now relative to the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation, MSD, which is sort of their 501c3 donation arm. Big fan of education, puts a lot of money into the community, a lot of money into underprivileged, families and children education in Texas, where he lives, start at home and then branch out. He's awesome at that. I love that. And so he was pretty, visible on Twitter. And so we're sitting around, like, before one of our meetings, me and the rest of the board, primarily vice president, and so they come back, and then, people, I'd be like, well, what do you want me to do? Because it's not like I needed to, like, prep to get up on stage. I was like, okay, like, when are you going to hand me the microphone? 9:17? Okay, awesome. I will be basically standing backstage at 9:16. Before that, I'm going to be hugging everybody in the crowd, and then we'll, like, go from there. So we're sitting around and we're having, and someone said, it was Michael Dell would post, and so we would pay attention to that. And he posted something, and so someone said to me, they're like, "Oh my God, you should you should ask him, on social media where he's, 100 million, not 100 million, 250,000 followers. You should ask him to come to our meeting tonight." And I said, "Okay, give me the phone." And it's honestly, so this is so long ago. Like, I mean, in other words, I don't really use it now any longer. But I didn't know how to tweet. Like, I didn't know what at someone meant versus hashtag someone. Like, I didn't know how you, like, basically, made it so they did. So I said, all right, well, here's what I'm going to do. I said, here's what I'm typing. You put the correct symbols in it, and then you hit send from my Twitter. So I got on Twitter, and I said, Michael, you're amazing. You're so customer focused. Can't wait to see you. Hope you can. It was either can't wait to see you. I think it was. Can't wait to see you at our meeting tonight, like 8 p.m. kind of thing. And so I get phone calls big time. Now, again, I'm not an employee of Dell Technologies, okay, at this time. I am just president of the user group of a technology where the average person bought $2.5 million worth. And we had a lot of members. And in our rooms, we would traditionally have close to $1 billion in spend, lifetime spend of the customers there, and or $650 million in pipeline. So that was revenue generating, okay? And the markup on data center is like, it's almost 40% on the hardware. And it's not like laptops. And so anyway, so we would find those statistics out about the people that register, and we would somehow trickle that information to Michael Dell. So he'd be like, okay, like I'm either going to go to the stamp collectors meeting where the chances are that 5 or 6 people might buy laptops, or I might go to Mike's meeting where in the room there will be $1 billion people that have spent $1 billion on my stuff, and another people that are going to spend another $650 million. Anyway, so I sent him this post. So I get this. They're like, Mike, you can't do that. You can't reach out to Michael Dell on social media or whatever. And I'm like, so as a customer, I can pretty much do whatever the hell I want. And so I just simply responded, and I'm like, for all you naysayers that don't think Michael's going to come by and say hello to the customers, this is going to be one Dell of a bug and amazing time. Because the name of our group was the VCE user group, or the bug. And so from that point forward, every time Michael would come to one of my meetings, it was going to be one Dell of a fucking amazing meeting. And so anyway, so that Mikey shouldn't have done that. Don't do that. If you need to reach out to him, go through channels. His handlers didn't know he was going there. And I'm like, you know what? I am so not into this. I'm like, if you guys clearly didn't graduate from high school, please go back, because you basically didn't advance past the way that you interface with public people. So I'm sitting there and I'm leading the meeting and I'm talking, and usually we would have a panel. So we had like 2 or 3 panel people there, and then we would take questions from the cloud. So like the CTO is up there, and the CEO, the president of this one unit, and that sort of thing. And so I'm talking. What would very commonly happen is I'd be talking quite a bit, because I can engage the crowd, right? So I'm doing this, and my executive director comes from behind me and whispers in my ear, MD's on the way. And so I'm like, really? I'm like, that's great. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so I just went on. So one of the guys in the crowd asked, because he's thinking, okay, well, you're the president of this user group. Clearly, you know exactly what they're going to be doing with this company, which of course I don't. It's not like I was under NDA, but they certainly didn't give me, like, oh, hey, here's what we're going to be planning, 6 months from now. We're going to be buying EMC. No, it wasn't like that. But anyway, so one of the guys in the crowd, he goes, hey, look, I'm really invested in my Cisco equipment. Now that Michael Dell's in charge, what do you think the chances are is of that, relationship with Cisco not being really well? And so as he's asking me this question, I see Michael walking through the back of the room, and he's walking up towards the front, and I basically give him the chin, and I see him, and no one can, because it's dark, everyone's paying attention to the front of the room, and he's walking through the back of the room, and his handlers are following him, and they're like, oh my God, we haven't swept the room for bombs, the whole thing, right? And, but they knew me, and they're just like, fucking Mike, come on, dude, there's protocol. And I'm like, you know what there is? There's protocol that I'm going to introduce this guy to these customers in this room. And guess what, Sport Shoes? They're going to spend about $100 million this weekend, because the leader of all of this technology just showed up and promised you that he's going to do a good job. So trust me. So anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm on the microphone, and I almost remember the guy's the name of the question. Sir? No, it wasn't Sir. Anyway, one of the guys that I had known before asked me this question. Mike, do you think that Michael Dell is going to switch away from Cisco? And I said, that's a really great question. And so Michael, he's like off to the side of the stage. I said, you know what? That's a really great question. I tell you what, Michael, can you answer that for us? Right? And he just walks out. Everyone's like, how the hell did you just get him? He's the 40th richest guy in the world, right? And I guess that's a cool Dell story. That's probably better than just having a hamburger with him, right? So he shows up and he starts talking. And so the guys that are on stage that are, these are very important people. These are people that are running a $8 billion subset organization of Dell Technologies. And they're just like, I can't get his secretary to get back. My point to telling you this story is that he's really focused on the customer. Now, you hear stories about, oh, yeah, he walked into the customer service desk and he started taking phone calls or whatever. And, it was like, hi, this is Michael from Dell. Can I help you? He's walking through someone trying to fix their keyboard on their laptop. And they tell stories of that, and that maybe happened like 15 years ago one time, okay? So, and again, kind of like he started the company in his dorm room and then ... Well, that's an interesting story to tell, but he also basically took the company from $1 billion in revenue to $45 billion in revenue in less than 16 months, I think. And again, he had people helping him. He was the leader with the vision. That's what. So anyway, so he was a really, really big supporter, and we had 1,500 users members in our user group. By contrast, another infinitely more visible and infinitely more well-known user group in IT was the VMware users group, or the VMUG. And they had next to close to 100,000 members. And it was only after I got Michael to come to my meetings, not my meetings, our meetings, that he agreed to go to their meetings. And so it was neat because I was able to help this other one because, again, just because they had that many members didn't necessarily mean, you know, there's chatter, right? Oh, yeah, Michael's going to take over the company. He's going to do. And it's like, no. Look, he's doing the best he can with the awareness that he has. And at the end of the day, he's trying to make money for him and his family and his company and his employees and treat them well and give them, you know, and then at the end of the day, make so much freaking money that literally he gives the majority of it away to his, you know, 501c3. I think that was a pretty cool Dell story. How'd that go, Hike? I hope it was good. Or else, if the motorbikes were invented right now, they would never be legal. Ah, interesting point. Yeah, especially in the United States, right? There's no airbags, there's no crushable bumpers. Been riding since 1980. You must be excellent at it. Good to see you. The only way to watch hockey is live, in my opinion. I'm right there with you, dude. I am right there with you. I told Steve, high 10, chest bump, big fan of hockey. Bruins, naturally grew up in Boston, were my team. But, you know, my whole family's Canadian, so it's like you either grow up on the ice or you grow up cold sitting there watching everybody else. And, yeah, so pond hockey, and then, of course, you know, I did that. But I was never, like, on a team. I never, like, you know, played. Believe it or not, I was really never into team sports. It just was not something that I was into in, like, junior high, high school, that sort of thing. First two albums, very nice. Love the hockey in the 70s and 80s. That was hockey. Yeah, exactly. Now it's like, what do they call it? It's I went to go see a fight and then a hockey game broke out or something like that. You know, they fight a lot, you know. That's what I always used to say because, of course, I had a lot of visibility into the Canadians and the way that, like, the kids grew up because my uncle was, like, a hockey coach. Ridiculously well-respected hockey coach. These kids would follow this guy to the end of the earth. It was an awesome leadership moment to be able to watch. I would go up there and we would, like, be in a restaurant. And, you know, Uncle Earl would, like, you know, we would walk in. And these kids would stand up. They're like, hey, coach, hey, coach, hey, coach. I'm like, nice. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Like, my uncle sells tires. Like, what is he, you know? And I'm thinking, oh, my God, these kids love him. They respect him. He's like their dad, man. He's Superman. I was like, that's really cool. So, anyway, that part of team sports, I bummed that I missed out on. But I got it in different ways, right? Oh, wait a second. Hold on. This just up that. Daniel, congratulations. 18 months. That's friggin' awesome, buddy. You guys, you got anybody in your life that, like, you think to yourself, God, I wonder why he doesn't quit drinking or why he can't quit drinking? If all of a sudden that person stays sober for 18 months in a row, that's a big friggin' deal. One day sober is a big deal for an alcoholic. And I'm not saying Daniel's an alcoholic. That's only for him to decide. But 18 months, huge, huge. Teresa, good to see you. If I missed your comments, guys, I apologize. So go more. The reason I just thought it was Breaking Bad based on your life. So let me tell you something about Breaking Bad. So if you guys ever saw, like, 24, or quite frankly, any other TV show that had some degree of, like, technology in it, and, like, in 24, they would always be like, okay, hold on, let me open up a socket. Okay, bam, I'm through the NSA firewall. Okay, great, your files are deleted. False, okay? Anyway, the point is that, you know, they have consultants, you know, and they're like, okay, so, like, if we were going to do this, like, what should we do? It's like, You can say this because at the end of the day, the majority of the world doesn't know what even the hell VPN stands for. So if you say you're going to open up a socket, no one's going to really be like, well, that's the wrong protocol. Why would you use that? That's not going to, that's got signal loss. You're going to have to do forward error correction. There's no way you're going to be able to do this. You're going to need to use the UDP protocol if you're going to want to do. Anyway, so Breaking Bad, obviously, like every other TV show, had consultants. I watched the first 2 episodes, and the behaviors, especially of that guy, like when he's in the motorhome and he's cooking up the, crystal meth, basically. I saw that, and I was like, this is like the behaviors of the guy. His paranoia, his twitch, his reactions to things, his overreaction to things, his reactions to things that normal people are like, why in the world did you believe that that was the right decision to make? It was so accurate. I was like, okay, whoever they hired to like be the consultant on this show was a raging crystal meth addict. I'm like, you don't know how to direct an actor to act that way unless you have been there. There is absolutely, I'll give you a great example. There's absolutely no way that a non-alcoholic can understand how an alcoholic, I never did this, but many of my friends did when they were drinking. Now that they're sober, you hear the stories. They love their family. They will literally, on a stack of Bibles, as they say, swear to God, I am never going to drive drunk with my kids in the car. I am never, and they mean it with 150% of their being. Their DNA at that moment is like, I will never get into a car drunk with children or whatever in the background. And they'll believe it. And then they will have their first drink, which then sets off the phenomenon of craving. And there they'll be, sitting in the front of the car, picking their kids up, completely drunk, hating themselves, and then really hating themselves in the morning after they sober up. And a non-alcoholic will be like, I don't, like, how could you do, whereas I, at a meeting, when I hear someone share about that, I'm like, yeah, I totally get that. That makes sense. And I don't look down on the person, I'm like, you're an alcoholic. Like that. And then there will be people that are like new in sobriety, and they'll get up and they'll share about the fact that, like, I did that. I was like so horrible. I was a horrible mother. I couldn't take care of my kids. I was at the bar and left my 6-year-old at home to babysit my 2-year-old. And I just did this. Oh my God, but I had to drink was the most important thing in my life. And, they'll be sharing that at me, and they're like, I don't get it. Like, why did I do that? And, if I go up to them afterwards, give them a hug or whatever, And I'm like, you know what? I know exactly why you did that. If they're new, they're like, okay, yeah, how much time do you have? I'm like, oh, I got, 28 years, whatever. They're like, I'm like, no, it just adds up. Trust me. All you got to do is get 28 days and then get 29 days. And then eventually you get 28 years. Don't drink, don't die. Simple. Just do that. Trust me, you can do it. And and then they're like, I can't believe, and I said, oh, you know why you did that, didn't you? And they're like, oh yeah, they're waiting for gold to come out of these mouths. He said, Mike's going to give me the answer to why I was such a horrible, and I'm like, because you're an alcoholic. That's it. That's the reason. And, and if you don't want to stop drinking, that's fine. That's your business. But if you do want to stop drinking, that's our business. You come to our meeting. We'll save your life. 18 months in a row. Best Buddhist temple I've ever been to is an AA meeting. Season 2. Oh, the Lightning. That's a good team, actually. Saw the game at the Dome. That's huge, Daniel. Ah, there we go, Joseph. Thank you for that. 24W. See, I'm lame. I don't know what that means. 21 thumbs up, 0 thumbs down, indeed, and 1 chakra. Dysfunction and break the stop. Tormented and dysfunction, Tanya. I'm assuming you're meaning the songs, right? Wasn't break the cycle. It's 14 Shades of Grey. Ah, there you go. Yeah, I was disappointed in college when I didn't meet Robin Williams saying Carpe Diem. Yeah, so Robin Williams, that's a real sad story for me. because he's dead now, of course, and he took his own life effectively because of intense depression and inability to see the solution. He was sober. He was in the club, and that was brutal because I'm trying to think when I saw him. It was probably less than 2 years. I was up at a meeting in LA, Hollywood, and it was near Cedars, and I mean, I was just like, okay, you're brilliant, right? You're hilarious, and you're a cocaine addict. So I'm like, I get you. And then he was like, I can't do it. That sucks. Because I told you the guarantee is you don't drink, you don't use, you don't die, you stay sober. He didn't drink and he didn't use. He died. That pissed me off. Had to ask some people didn't know about Tormented. Bad Memories with 14 Shades of Grey, but artistically, it was a great album. Second Floor doesn't have to be Bad Memories, but yeah, that album was something. There was the girl I was with. Goodbye. Put your left arm, put your right arm on your left shoulder, put your left arm on your right shoulder. Let me do that again. Put your right arm on your left shoulder, put your left arm on your right shoulder, and give yourself a big hug. And if no one's told you they love you today, I do. Shut. Did you look at the Cool Kids video? It was okay. It reminded me of the late 80s. I absolutely did look it up, and I didn't even listen to it. To give you an example of how awesome my memory is, I had not even thought about it or even remembered it until just now. Sorry, dude. Thank you very much for reminding me. Ideally, I will look at that later on. Potteries games at Petco Rock. Yeah, that's where you did a lot of games there. Great story. Love the story. Oh my God, look at me with my cool stories. Aztecs, the whole student body had a substance issue. Yes, absolutely. When were you there, Steve? I graduated in 95 or 96. I can't remember because I basically, I walked about a few months before I was done. I walked in June or whenever we did it, maybe May. And then I still had to come back and I had to take a couple of classes that fall semester, and then I had to take a December class. And then I had to take classes over the summer too. So. Absolutely. Sorry, it jumps around. I thought it wouldn't do that here in StreamYard, but for some reason. Yes, he was coached by action. Yeah, I have no doubt he was. That's why I knew. I said, okay, they're not lying, It's kind of funny too when I hear people that I know have gratefully for them, never done drugs or whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, dude, this chocolate cake is like crack," and I'm like, "Trust me, it is nothing like that," and you are so glad it is nothing like that. And if you ever ingest anything that is anything like that, you're gonna die. Because if you survive, the pain is worse. Yeah, my mom goes to meetings. Dude, awesome. She learned the hard way not to hire the guys there for side jobs, painting, and home repair. Absolutely, dude. I'll tell you what. I love alcoholics. I prefer the sober ones, and I have only once hired one. I'm very selective about that because at the end of the day, it is also not Well People's Anonymous. It is not Responsibility Anonymous. It is there for one main purpose. Anyone that gets anything else out of it like that, it is the brass ring. Good to see you, Captain. Stoked there. Are you about to pat your head and rub your belly at the same time? Dude, what makes you think I didn't already before you showed up? Boom. 27 people, 5 thumbs up. God, we can get more thumbs up than that, can't we? Even if only, 5 of you guys that's here right now, we can still get another 22 thumbs up from people that haven't thumbs up. And the only reason I'm basically begging for that is I know that if I don't get that many, Stuck in Florida is going to basically get on a plane, get over here and kick my ass. And that's not happening. I'm almost done my 100. It hasn't rained in a long time. The sun's coming out. I'm almost ready to go to the Buddha footprint. Am I seriously caught up on comments? Oh, it's perfect timing. Just booked a ward flight to Bangkok, May 2021, over on Turkish Business and EVA on EVA Business. Hope I can go. Turkish Business is the only way I'd fly Turkish Airlines because their coach seats and their customer service, as far as I'm concerned, is incompetent. When I went through, oh God, I just seriously forgot the name of the capital. Come on, really? What's the capital of Turkey? The problem is that I'm distracted by the word Barcelona in my head because that's where I came from. 29 thumbs up. Thank you very much, Josephita. Why? Oh, it only shows 5 for me. I'm sorry. Yeah, for some reason, I guess I would hit refresh, but then the screen would black out or whatever. See you and be safe. Hey, right on, Todd. Thank you so much for coming by, man. Istanbul, right? Is that the capital? For the love of God, why can't I remember that? Like I think I know it. Anyway, so I'm there, and I'm transferring through. Oh my God! First of all, the airport is horrible. Like the ceilings are way low, and it's got like those ugly ceiling tiles from like 1970s office buildings. However, my first part of the flight from Barcelona to Istanbul was I think it was premium economy. It wasn't business. So it was like, okay, the legroom was all right, but like, the actual aircraft was in tough shape. And, but then I had coach going from Barcelona to, Istanbul to Cebu. And this was actually, if you remember my story from yesterday, this was the flight that I took to basically get down to Gracie in September so that we could hang out for a long weekend so that I could tell her, trust me, I'm interested in you and I'm doing this. Joe, I'm so glad I saw this before I got on the bike. Joseph, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the 100. That's what we bought with it, baby. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm honored. And there is trash somewhere. Unfortunately, people throw it like in the woods here. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to seek out a trash receptacle for this. And I'm going to get back on the bike. I've got 46% battery life, so this is like doing really good. And I believe it's only, let me check Google Maps. And you know what's awesome? One of you guys mentioned this, and I've totally had this experience before, tethering to a phone and the phone heats up. This phone, it is not hot at all. I am so thrilled with my Google Pixel that it tethers like with such elegance. It's awesome. Excuse me. So let me go back to your location to Buddha footprint. And, oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. I'm 14 minutes away if I were to walk. Oh, I am literally 1 minute away, guys. You see that? Hold on. No, I've got it as bright as it'll go. So, yeah, I think you got it. Okay, so it's 1 minute away. 14 minutes if I was walking, but it's 1 minute away. 1.1 kilometers. It's southwest on Route 4170. Hi, thanks for calling. Sorry, I'm not available to take your call right now. You know what I may do? I think because I want to go to this little island place, I may just cruise down the road. It's going to bear to the right and then go to the left. And when it like starts curving to the left, I think if I go straight, there's like this little kind of like island thingy in there. And it's got Ampo Kosamui Stadium, which it says is temporarily closed. But again, if I go in, it's just like a circle, right? So I might ride around that. Sorry. I might ride around that. So I may go in there. But at the end of the day, Buddha's footprint is one kilometer away. So that's the jam. And how much battery I got on that? Okay, so 47% here and 47% there. So that's pretty cool. That tells me that I have the ability to stream for a little bit longer. We are at 1 hour and 50 minutes. And I got to tell you, StreamYard's holding pretty steady. And let me just quickly scroll down through all of the comments to make sure that I'm not missing anybody who may have super chatted. Again, thank you so much. What's in that one? It's a bucket of awesome sauce because I'm drinking it at the Cool Kids table. You guys want to see what the Cool Kids table is actually made out of right now? It's made out of concrete and awesome. All right, let me make sure. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? It's crazy now that I was looking outside the roof. Are you coming on later? Am I coming on later? You mean like for another live stream, or are you talking to somebody else? Sorry, Joseph. I'm going to keep streaming. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep streaming until this phone dies, and then I'm going to switch back to the other phone because I got the other phone working, and that was actually the first phone that we used to stream. I couldn't get it working yesterday because I think I started on the laptop and I moved to the phone, and that didn't work for the Pixel. And then once we get to Buddha's Footprint, I'm going to probably shut this phone off and then hook my battery pack up to the other one. So I'm going to be staying on. And you may or may not have been asking me that. Hey, Mike, dropping in any fun impromptu streams? Good for you. Thank you so much, buddy. We've been live, and we've also been mobile. Not only are we crazy mobile, Istanbul to Constantinople. Thank you very much, Daniel. I appreciate it. I was like, that's going to kill me. It's been a long time gone to Constantinople. It's going to drive me crazy. Is it Thelonious? No, it's not Thelonious Monster. Begins with a T, though, doesn't it? Who sings that, guys? That's going to drive me crazy. Oh, Ankara is the capital of Turkey. Thank you, Richard. I didn't know that. Thank you very much. That's great. Istanbul, Constantinople. I totally know the song. I played it as a current in college radio. I could Google it, of course, which maybe one of you is going to do. They might be giant. I knew it was a T. Thank you very much. All right, cool. All right, so now what's going on? And I thought he cop. Oh my God, look at what he's got here. What is that? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. A buddy of ours here. I'll tell you what. So you just gave me $2, Richard? I mean, Joseph. I want to put this up there, and I want to show you guys what we're going to do with that $2 right now. Okay, can you see my buddy here? Okay, cool.
No money, no food.
That's okay. Okay, here you go, Cop. Yeah, Choki Cop. Yeah. These are all my friends on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, Cop. Choki. Yeah, that's absolutely good. How's that? How's that for instant gratification, Joseph? All right, I know there's going to be a trash over here, and I'm actually going to have to take my helmet off again and then put the mask on over my face, kind of thing. So what's interesting about that guy is he came over to me with a coconut, and I thought he was just going to like sit there and crack it open. He had a wrench with him, and so maybe I thought he was going to do that. There was a part of me that also said, oh, he's not going to necessarily do that. He's going to like open it up or try and sell to me or something like that. But I'm like, no, he says he has no money for food. So, hey, awesome. We gave him some money. So, all right. So now this is on a tripod. So what I think I'm going to try and do is see if I cannot. No, I'm going to put it in the way it was before because that actually worked. And let me go to the new comments next year. Good job, Mike. Hey, I blame you guys for my wild success. I wouldn't have known how to do that if it wasn't for you guys in my life. Oh, maybe. I don't want to give you too much credit for what my mom taught me how to do. All right, so I got my glasses on here. Hold on. Let's see here. Okay, guys, sorry. I might have lost you. I thought I might lost you, but 31. Someone seriously just gave me a thumbs down. They need to rewatch what just happened. The Cool Kids table just helped out somebody. I was just a catalyst. I'm just a representative. That's all. All right, hopefully this works. This is not. I'll be damned if I'm not going to broadcast this live, guys. Now that we've been able to do it thus far. There's a piece of Velcro that holds. I got to turn the camera around. I forgot about that. Settings, camera. All right, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to be able to enjoy the ride. I hope. For some reason, what happens is that like something touches the screen, right? So it thinks it's basically my finger. And you know, I'm asking it to do something. Of course, I'm not. All right, cool. So there you guys are. And any luck, I'll be able to tighten this down. Okay. All right. So I think we're good for right now, guys. Up, glasses. Okay, off we go. And go straight back here. Okay, I think it's closed. I mean, 60 seconds on a motorbike isn't that far. Oh, dude, check out this buffalo. All right, hold on. Stand by. Dude, how awesome. Look at the size of that thing. Now, if it charges me, I'm not going to shut off the, you guys see that? I hope so. That is one awesome buffalo, and it's not sick. So clearly, the girl that's living here doesn't need any money from me. Oh, my Buddha. Okay, now. I should have. He actually looked at me as I drove away. He's probably like, "Hey, so you gave the guy with the coconut some money. I could really use a back rub. House for rent. That might be a fun house, but in my mind." That's a house for rent. That's like a brand new house. In my mind, Buddha's footprint should be. I bet I drove by it. Hold on. Let me. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me double click on some Google Maps. Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, it's like an. Oh, hello. Hey, how are you? What? What is?
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Okay, hold on. I still go live right now. Yeah. Okay. How do I put? Is this? Whoa. Oh, sorry. I did something wrong. Let's see. Is this YouTube now, or is just
Yes.
YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, so. Yeah. So that you should be able to find it. Here we go. Number one.
Okay.
Kun Mike.
Kun Mike.
Kun Churai.
Pal.
Pal. Good to meet you. Where are the other? You don't have two?
Samui.
Oh, no. Okay, very good. Good. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, actually, if you watch right now, you can see yourself right now. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's totally cool. I'm psyched you did that. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Toki Cop. Okay, guys, I just had one of my fans stop. That's huge. Anyway, so Buddha's footprint is literally up here on the left. So, oh my God, I'm having a great day. Mike, oh my God, why are you so happy? I got to wake up this morning, and the only people that came by wanted to help the Cool Kids table. Because don't forget, helping the Cool Kids table, giving us recommendations on how to spend Joseph's money. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm like sitting here like yelling, right? Talking to myself. It's probably like, why are you doing that? Okay, so Buddha's footprint, I'm thinking, is, I'm hoping it's like a, you know, a tourist attraction of some kind, at least for the Thais. Maybe I have to like park my bike and like walk up into the middle of the woods. Maybe it's like right there and they just like built Samui plan construction. All right, hold on. There's a guy up here with his motorbike just to the side, so maybe like that's what you do. Maybe you just like put your this is looking promising. There's people selling some stuff up here. I think they're just hanging out. I think I've driven by it already. Oh, no, these are just workers. Can you see the workers? With their bamboo ladder? Yeah, I've driven past. Yeah! Oh, my Buddha. Well, that tells me that the old Buddha's footprint thing is not something you just like hang out at, man. There's a lot of restaurants that are still closed, guys. Let me do a U-turn real quick here, and oh, interesting. Let me double check on exactly how far I went. I do want to go like exactly where it says it is on the map, and see how close and or far away. That was so cool that those girls stopped by. Okay, so let's see, Buddha's footprint. Directions. Yeah, it's literally 650 meters. All right, so I'm going to drive really slow, and yes, I'm going to be holding the phone with my hand. So stand by. No one behind us, no one in front of us. Again, this has been a great time to come to Koh Samui, but I got to tell you guys, there are places in Koh Samui that are like even busy now, and I'm like, there is no way. Like I can tell you right now, even though that like Chawang Beach is empty, I got zero interest in Chawang Beach. I mean, it is not for me. Well, okay, walking on the beach, yes, that would be enjoyable by myself, with Gracie, of course. But I should have asked those girls where the hell Buddha's footprint was. I got so excited. My ego got so distracted by the by the acknowledgement. I was like, oh my God, praise me. Tell your friends. That's cool. So I got a Thai sub. Guys. She even showed me that she subscribed. So that's great. Subscribe, like, share. Okay, we're almost where it says it is. Okay, at least it's not in that development back there where I thought it would be. And it's supposed to be on the right where I'm at right now. So in other words, it should have been like right in front of us on the left as I was driving the other way. So it's almost as if it's in this driveway up here. Yeah. As far as Google goes, it believes I need to go right, like up through there. So that is not happening. Unless, of course, the other driveway. No, they're both sort of close, and I've now driven past it. All right. Hold on, let me ask this lady. I think she's. Whoa. Are you trying to find Buddha's footprints? Do you know Buddha's footprints? No? That's okay. English. Okay, now there's a chance that maybe that lady was going to like open it up or something, but anyway, I'm guessing it's not too spectacular. Now the good news is this wasn't my only plan. That was just the beginning of the first part of the plan. Oh, and just so you know, so the amount of rain that we got when I pulled over, when I was driving and when I pulled over and that sort of thing, that is what a 40% chance of rain means. So if it says like 80% or more, then I wouldn't have been able to ride the motorbike while it was spinning even. It would have been really coming down. So you know how like when people first started like taking selfies and they started, like walking around with their camera talking into it? I now know what that was like around the early years of YouTube when people thought you were like really weird. Because I'm driving around on a motorbike by myself, basically yelling. Although the good news is the only people that seem confused by it are the Thais. Of course, the Thais are also the only people that smile at me coming the other way. The white people are just like, yeah, whatever. Woo! Wow! There's a lot of heat coming off of that diesel engine. Yeah, I have a feeling that Buddha's footprint is probably not an English word. Did you see the 3 girls on that motorbike? Oh, it's kind of funny, right? So, like that motorbike that had the 5 people on it, they now only have 3. I actually don't know what the limit is in the United States. I'm going to assume that it's 2 people. I assume that you can't have more than 2 people on a motorbike, but who knows? Maybe you can have 3. You see that family with their little baby in the front, like standing up, holding onto the handlebars. I love how, like, when they put the helmets on the adults but not the kids. It's like, that's really weird from my Western perspective. So what I believe is going to happen is I'm going to drive a distance, and then I'm eventually going to have, this road will eventually be like right next to the water. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe that's what Google Maps looks like. Sweet Sisters Cafe. We may cruise back there. Might be a fun place to go. Alright, now hold on. I'm just going to pull over and double check Google Maps. I want to make sure I'm actually taking the roads. Now that sign to the left of me, which you can't see right now, but it says 4 kilometers to the Khotan Pier. Khotan, C-A-N, Pier. Yeah, okay, cool. I think I went the right way. Stand by. Yeah, I believe if I continue on this road, yeah, I'm continuing this road for a little while, basically to 4170. It literally will end at the beach, and then I need to take like a sharp right. Wouldn't it be funny if there are like people following me because it's like, dude, there's a crazy man on a motorbike like yelling at his handlebars. He hates those handlebars. You guys remember that from the Jerks? He hates these cans. Okay, cop. In case you're wondering, my top speed, my top level of comfort speed on a motorbike really tops out at about 50 kilometers. Ah, Buffalo! Oh, Mike, you Buffalo. I heard that a lot when I first got to Pattaya. Oh, Mike, you butterfly, you Buffalo. I wonder if there's anywhere in the United States where, obviously it wouldn't necessarily be 3 girls on a motorbike, but 2 girls on a motorbike would drive up to me and ask me what my YouTube channel is and want to add me. I mean, I will tell you, I've met some pretty cool people in Florida at random. But I'm just really happy that whatever experiences those good, I mean, because it's Koh Samui, right? So, I mean, it's basically vacationers and a lot of farang. So I will say I'm actually very happy about the fact that whatever experience those girls have had thus far, before they met me with farang, I'm gonna estimate that they probably had a good experience, otherwise they wouldn't have felt comfortable coming up to me. So that makes me happy. I think I did a video when I was walking around Lumpini Park about the responsibilities I believe I have. And I do certainly believe that I have a responsibility to be a representative of the United States. And a representative of California as far as the tourist goes. So when some guy comes up to me, and even if he's lying to me, and he doesn't need any money, I can understand why some people have one tooth missing out of their mouth. He only had one tooth. I have 0 problems today, guys. And I've got a lot of 100,000 baht. Well, I meant to say I have a lot of 100 baht. How's that? I'll edit that out in post so people don't think I'm rich. I'm wealthy because of you guys at the Cool Kids table. All right, so I believe right here is where basically the beach is going to be on my left, quite close. Now the Hideaway Pub, that says closed, but I think they're actually open. of this stuff is closed. And the beach down there, it's not like it's white sand. It's kind of like mud. If you guys didn't see it, I apologize. But it's basically like a fisherman's village beach. So it's like kind of really pretty utilitarian, quite frankly. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of out of the way, as you can. I mean, there's been no traffic, right? And none of these places that open now. I think it's around the time when so that place is open. That's kind of cool. I can cruise over there. I'm trying to get some fried rice, that's for sure. And I never turned down fried rice. That was kind of a cool place back there. It looked like they had coffee, actually. I'm gonna go back to that place. Natural sugarcane rum. Yeah, I don't have that requirement. That place is nice over there on the right. This place is really nice here. The Wanderer Pier. So they're basically working on it. They're like sanding down their table. That's a pizza place up there, but I've already had way too much farang food on this trip. I can't believe I actually ordered a club sandwich. I mean, for the love of God, I don't even order club sandwiches in the United States. There was a little place that I saw here. I think it was this place right here. Where I can also sell gasoline. Oh, it's on the honor system too. Okay, go ahead. So Thai food, seafood, local food. They look open. Let's see if they're open. What time is it? Hold on, because I think when I was looking on Google Maps, they said that these places were open on like at 11 o'clock kind of thing. Yeah, it's 11:30, and I should be good. Hold on. I gotta obviously verify that this thing's actually still working. I don't know. Oops. Looks like it's still working, guys. Is it still working? Place looks pretty big, enough for plenty of riding around. I didn't realize it was such a big island. Yeah, still 15 of you guys. Yeah, it's about the size of Phuket. Let's see if this place is open and I can get some food. There's a cat, so that's good luck. And there's a menu. Can I have food? No? No have? Okay. It's beautiful. All right, so no food there. We'll go down in the pot, I think, tour and restaurant. They might be open. Let's see here. All right, I think we're still streaming. Good. And even though I'm only going 10 meters, that's bippy. I'm putting my helmet on because I want to make sure I don't look too cool, and then I reek of being a tourist. I love being able to drive on the wrong side of the road. So Thailand right now. There's a bike. Howdy, cop. Have food? Don't have. I mean, that before turn? No fish. Okay, so just like blue sign? Like
yeah,
half more?
yeah,
Okay, but Thai.
yeah, Phá Tẩy.
Thai?
Yeah, Phá Tẩy restaurant.
Oh, Phá Tẩy restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What do
Yeah.
you have here? You have cafe? Cafe in mind? Yeah. I have stuff here?
Yeah.
Okay, I eat, come back up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, cool. So I'm going to go up here, and then 200 meters, she said. It's called the Far Side Cafe. She said I can get food. And I don't really need food. What I want is I want to view the ocean and I want to hang out with you guys. Now, the good news is going to be that no matter what restaurant I go to, I'm going to be able to talk. Pasay. Okay. Okay, cool. Oh, and they have S. I'm a big fan of S because it's basically like Thai Pepsi. All right. Let me see. We still going, guys? Oh, wait. What happens is it like touches the screen and screws it up. All right, there we go. We're still going? Hold on. Yeah, 2 hours, 21 minutes. All right, that's awesome. Just throw something in the comments if you guys are still there. Have food? Yep. Okay, awesome. Oh, wait, I forgot my... Yeah, good. So he's got... Here's how you know it's going to be good food. I cannot read. Yes, sir. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, sir. Has a Thai local food? Yes. I just have fried rice, fried noodle, tom yum goong, and pad thai. Pad thai goong. Pad thai goong. Yeah. Okay. Cup. Spicy? Little bit. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get some shrimp pad thai. But actually, I'm gonna get my tripod so I can put this here. Chai, nam. Yeah. Cup. Up. Let me get the tripod. Oh no, the tripod's in my. Oh wow! I like literally drove around with the back of my backpack open, guys, just like that. How lame is that? I hope I didn't lose a whole lot, like my passport. Yeah. Anyway, food to take care. I think I may have lost some stuff. I'm not quite sure. Let's see if I can remember what I put in here. I don't think I put a lot in this top thing. Let's see if I have my... Oh, sorry, hold on. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, it says I got 15 people that are currently watching, and I'm at 2 hours and 23 minutes. But what it doesn't say, did I put it in here? Oh, look at that! I put it in here. SmartMics.com. Yeah, awesome. That was going to be a real drag if I lost this because this is the base of the gimbal, guys. But anyways, all right. So we're going to put that back on here. Now I'm hungry. Hello, it's Thunder, Florida. All right, cool. Still here, man. Awesome. Thank you very much, TJ. Good. I really appreciate it, buddy. Were you able to see the part where we actually got a new subscriber from the passersby? That was kind of a neat experience. Glad that I stopped there. Even though I wasn't successful at finding the Buddha, I was successful at getting some new customers. There we go. There we go. All right. Now I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm pretty psyched for some shrimp. That should be pretty good. I'm saying here in Florida. Oh, really? Oh, God. I'm sorry to hear that. Let me go to the other one. And there we go. All right. Hey, so I'm here. I want to make sure I show you this place because the guy was incredibly nice. And obviously, if you're into that, and if it was raining, in fact, we would probably hang out there, but it's not. They've got out of phase, probably 220 kVA, so that's good, which is why it's arcing like that. Pasay restaurant. I would have pronounced that as Pasay or Pasay. I don't know. Anyway, Pasay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. S-A-I. Pasay. So there you go. I have water with me, but I'm psyched for some cold water. That's actually pretty good. Well, considering we have the technology, let me get a little bit better view right now, because obviously I'm going to be here for. There we go. Nice. Alcohol. I'm going to do this. as if I'm setting up pigeon cam back. There we go. Okay, so what time? It's like, well, I got 22% of the battery, so that's limited, but that's okay because, as you know, I have battery, but, and we're living the dream, and I like this tripod because Gracie and I bought it together back when she was actually, I don't know if I can look at that and look at this at the same time. So the place is pretty nice. And the view, unfortunately, you would not have if I were to get over closer to the beach. But that lady back there, we're going to cruise back because she told me to come here. We're going to cruise back to her, and we're going to have coffee afterwards. So there you go. So we'll do that. Now I'm going to try actually to switch to my other phone, which I can connect to a battery. Oops. Oh my God. That's good.
LIVEStream.
Aroy.
Yolanda.
That's cool. Actually, hold on. Wait. Have YouTube. Say hi, YouTube. Kun Churai Cup. Pong. Thank you. All right. So Pong. Pong. I like immediately pronounced it wrong. Is that like weird that I did that? Yes, dude. Oh, unfortunately, numbers. That's not good, guys. I'm really sorry to hear that. I like that. I like that comment. I'm gonna leave that one up there. Okie dokie. I'm gonna have a little bit of this, then I'm gonna change. Priorities, my friend. And I'm really psyched that it gave me. I love bean sprouts, by the way. So when they give me like extra bean sprouts, well, it feels like extra. And while my drug of choice is success, I'm also a big fan of extra. Okay. Well, first thing I'm going to do, have a shrimp. All right, Mark. Get to the napkins here. I'm actually surprised no one's been like, Mike, is this like Eat Your Ass Off channel now? Every time I come see you, we watch you chew. I think this is the most genuine live stream ever. We're like driving all over the island. We're stopping. We're eating food. You guys are just like hanging out with me the whole time. Okay, so this is like really, really good. Look, I'm not just like, oh my God, he's put, no, it's excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. Low battery. Let me get the other battery. Stand by. Thanks. Joseph, no worries, buddy. Thank you so much for the thank you so much for the $2. I think as a team we made that guy with the coconut pretty happy. He had more coconut than he had teeth. Which is really good. I'm very happy. Alright, let's see if we can switch cameras here.
Okay, here we go. Oh, see, and then it freezes up. I cannot believe it. So lame. All right, well. Let's see if I can do this. Stand by.
There we go. I guess we're going to stay on this camera, which is fine. There we go. All right. Well, at least I got the battery on this one. And I can just close all this stuff down. And again, we'll just use this as the tetherer, but I need to get a cable and plug the charger into this. Hope that didn't fall out. The good news is I turned around a couple times. But I've actually seen this stuff that fell out. I think that cable is in the motorbike. Yeah, there it is. Hold on. Stand by. Whoop. I just went all ting tong there. The full on baba ball. Okay, we're charging. Sit. Yeah, Joseph, thanks a lot for coming by, man. I really appreciate it. Fade to Gray by Vistage is one of my favorite songs. Ah, thanks. Oh, Vistage. Sorry, Vistage. Vistage is the name of an executive leadership group that I was part of very briefly. Wasn't a fan. I like to get all the shrimp out from the shells. Did a pretty good job of it. Gracie taught me how to do that the best. But hey, Jason, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. I guess part of my live stream is kind of like yours. I'm just like walking around on my motorbike. here in Samui. So I stopped for lunch. Actually, didn't really plan on eating lunch today. It's kind of a treat. So this is about as exciting as it gets. I'm looking forward to watching it back to see what it was like on the motorbike. I mean, I'm sure it was, you know, wasn't great. But from a technology perspective, I'm actually really interested to see how much it was able to stream. Absolutely, Jason. I'm right there with you, buddy. Marginally older male, it's 11. We're not even at 3 hours yet, guys. There's still plenty of islands to see. So here's sort of an indicator of how big the island is. On Koh Chang, for example, all you can do is rent bikes. On Bang Chao, which is like that island, like in the middle of Bangkok, you can only rent bicycles. I didn't see any places that rented motorbikes. You probably can over there, but for the most part, it's just bicycles. Here, you can rent motorbikes and cars. In fact, a lot of the sort of really, really dense places, like where there's a big sea and a big Tesco Lotus and that sort of thing, a lot more, you know, people will come regularly, and certainly by the ports. Cars and motorbikes. Now, there's like a string of motorbikes and there's like 2 cars. But the point is that they have cars for rent, and of course, you can also, I think it's like 100 baht more. Take your car on the ferry. And you drive your car right onto the ferry and drive right over here. It's red ants for her. Spicy. But really good. Oh, thank you, Aztec. Cool. Appreciate it, buddy. When you guys said yesterday, it's like, well, you're kind of an extension of our living room. I thought, well, there's actually times when Mike's not speaking. That's when he's eating in your living room. Okay, so obviously I got to bring this up. What are you guys grateful for today? I loved that question the other day. I actually watched back through the video and someone proposed that. So what are you guys grateful for today? I'm grateful we got to give that guy 100 baht. Which is interesting because it's actually probably more than this food. Oh no, I saw it on the menu. This is 80 baht. I'm sure it's 20 baht for the water. So this is probably 100 baht. So for what I gave that guy, he could have this exact meal. He can probably make that 100 baht go a little further. So. I didn't want to sort of bring attention to it, but as I was leaving, I looked over at his motorbike. It had no seat on it. So
So when people make the statement, poverty is painful, they're accurate. Love it, stuck in Florida. I'm breathing. That text says I'm grateful for my health. I don't have health insurance, so it's really important to me. You know, it's funny. A lot of times I just flash on something. Do you think about it? Instead of giving the premium to another company, you know, you have your gym membership and you have like your really good sneakers, because you need decent sneakers if you're going to run like regularly. Potentially insoles, the proper gear, food, water, comfortable place to live. You don't get really distracted and that sort of thing. Environment's important. That sounds like your health insurance to me, buddy. I'll do that all day long. Oh yeah, Daniel, how you doing, buddy? Grateful for 18 months. Good. Remain that way. In my experience, when you're grateful, you're on the path. And when you're on the path, you get the gifts. And when you get the gifts, you get grateful. Bam. Perpetual motion machine of awesomeness. I'd say you get 28 years, I guess. At least that's all. I only know how to do it one way. It's the way I do it. So I haven't broken anything on my body. Good for you, Mr. That's great. Grateful for Food Panda. Yeah, I'll bet, man. You're getting some delivery. You guys still cannot, like, can you go out? I mean, I know you go out and walk around, but when you can't, like, on a jeepney or something, like, can you ride your motorbike to the next province? Gracie, like, kind of can, but don't suppose any jeepneys. Man. Yeah, Mr. Mitch, you haven't broken anything on your body lately or ever? That would be lately. Yeah, it's good. Live in the moment, dude. That's awesome. The phone will get hot when I'm charging it, especially via USB-C, because it's faster, rapid charge. And I'm at 52%. What did I say was that earlier? Ah, MedTech gave me a heart on the comment I made in his video. Thanks, buddy. I meant to thank somebody for their PayPal yesterday. Stand by. That was amazing. I got home, I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I mean, $5, dude. I cleaned my clothes for 60 baht. So you pay for my clean clothes, and I got, you know, water and, you know, soda and something. So thank you very much. I won't say his last name, but David. David, thank you very much for the $5. I came in yesterday at 10 o'clock my time, so it was during the stream. So thank you very much, my friend. I was like, wow, that's pretty quick into the stream. Thanks, David. Here's a question for you. Oh, did I say 22%? Okay. The camera is now at 18%. That's the same percentage as it was when I plugged in the battery. So at least it's not going down, but I don't know how well this is going to do, but I mean, you know, we'll just do it till we can, right? Yeah, that makes it go faster. I only charge one phone at a time from the battery pack. I liked it. It was good. Really good. The other nice thing, too, is if you're on Koh Samui, this is a great place to come, man. It's a little town here. Cool. No 7-Elevens, no Family Marts. Although, to be fair, I really like having those. Incredibly, I mean, you know, they put the word convenient in convenience there, so.
whatever he's cooking right now smells really good. Hello. I love when I drink the whole thing of water. I hate when I'm drinking the water. I leave a little bit. It's like, oh man, I really want to finish. I'm grateful that I have someone waiting for me. Sorry to be a sap. No, you're not. I hope you're not. I mean, I don't understand why you say that, and I say stuff like that too. But I hope you're really not. I know what you mean. Ate the whole thing. Ah, big boy, huh? I want whatever it is. Pad Thai Goon, which is Pad Thai. Shrimp. 7-Eleven is dying out in the U.S. except in the Southwest. Well, I mean, I can understand why they're probably focused on the Southeast. That's where they're from, right? I can't remember the name of the company that's 7-Eleven. I mean, over here, it's basically CP. CP All, basically, is the company that owns every single 7-Eleven here. You want to talk about wealth? I mean, literally, the family, the CP, they're literally like one of the top 5 wealthiest families in Thailand. And I don't think a day goes by that I don't patronize CP All, seriously. And even if it's not like if I go to 7-Eleven, but I might like hop on their wireless or hop on their, you know, they own a cell carrier. So CP is a big deal. Southland Corporation, thank you. I was just like, wait a minute, how come I don't know that? Yeah. Roy Mott. That's really good. There's some things that I just don't get used to in Thailand. Other paper. Not because it's like, you know, used for other stuff, but it's not dense enough. Like I like a good napkin. Damn world. Yeah. State of mind, baby. State of mind. Yeah, thanks, Daniel. Back in the day, it was Southland. Around here, Marathon, Casey's Gallops are the most common. For convenience stores, you mean? And I know this is going to look gross, but I have stuff in my teeth, and I know a solution to get it out. And that's called picking my teeth, which is gross. And actually, I probably wouldn't even do this in your living room, so I won't do it now either. It was Southland that I was actually thinking of, but I think actually now that there's a part of me that thinks, hey, American Express. Nah, I can't. But anyway. I'm going to try something. That's still at 18, which again means that's okay, because it means the power's not going down, but it's not charging. I'm going to try a different cable. I'm still amazed at how changing a cable that presumably is exactly the same can make a difference in charging. I mean, in other words, the gauge is the same, the thickness is the same, the insulation is the same. I don't get it. But that happens. Yeah, I experienced that last night. These two, there's literally a cable that's like, you know, USB thing, and then one looks like literally exactly the same, and one of them charges this phone fast, and one of them doesn't. I'm like, dude, come on. I mean, there's a standard. It's like the pins are the same. I don't know, maybe one of them has more insulation and less power. But if this goes down to 17%, then I'll know. Okay, so actually, this was sort of the. I want to say this is pretty much the plan to come to this beach, because I wasn't sure what it was going to be, but I haven't been any further south, so we'll just keep going. Rike says hi, by the way. Okay, awesome. So we're going to go back to, yeah, see, now it's at 17%. Like, this cable is worse than the other cable. Like, what? All right, so I got 17% battery and simply not charging anywhere past 18%. So if I go back to the other phone, the video freezes. So, unfortunately, it sounds to me like we have about, I think we can make it to 3 hours. 7 minutes. In 7 minutes, it'll be 3 hours. We have seven, well, again, it displays to me we have 17 people. Let me actually see what YouTube says. There we go. Apologies. This is how the live streams have been ending lately, right? I just kind of like, mellow out, and I'm like having a gratitude attack, but I've been having a quiet one. Like, usually I have the more energetic one. Hey, Daniel, good to see you, buddy. Aloha, Australia. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. So I'm near the beach, Caesar. It's, you know, that way. And in fact, probably I'm going to go over there and grab a coffee from the previous woman that told me about the current restaurant I'm at. And it was good, and I recommend it. And if you guys come and see Pong, right? Pong, okay. Yeah, Pong is a great chef, and I highly recommend the Pad Thai Goon. And then we're going to go back down the street and get some coffee. And that'll probably take me to the end. I'm at 16% now, and it's in the red, baby. Oh, I'm living in the red, guys. I'm living in the red. I break all the rules. Just put this in here. I don't need to worry. Yes, I'm going to put the zippers up this way so I don't lose anything along the way. And we'll do a check bin, and we'll live the dream. Oh, okay, yeah. How do you say Thai? No, yes. Yes, definitely. I tell everybody on YouTube too. Oh yeah. So they come. All right, guys. That was very successful. What do you say? Crystal Bay. Yeah. More Lamai. How many days? Today is day 4. Yes. Thank you. Right. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day. That was really good food. I hope you guys come here. Let me show you the sign again, just to make sure you know where it is. Here. So this is the name of it. Fasai. And I'll just put it there for a second in case you guys, ever get back to this video and you want the phone number. You can call Pong. Beach is over there, Caesar. And a lot of these shops along here, as you might imagine, you walk right into them and you've got a view of the ocean as you're eating or drinking. And we are going to go experience some drinking in the only way that I know how to do it anymore, which is with a caffeinated beverage. The only one that I'm good at anymore. And I couldn't be happier. 18 months. I remember my 18 months, buddy. I don't know if you guys would care about this, but every time I celebrate, it's sort of a milestone. And if you don't know, in the rooms, occasionally there will be milestones. And after you get about 2 years, it's every year. But up until that, a lot of times it's every 30 days, because a month is a big deal. And then when you get to a year, it's usually a year, 18 months, and then 2 years, and then every year thereafter. That's a pretty big deal. But I couldn't take a token without crying. And just so you know, I just took a 28-year token and I cried, and I couldn't be happier. And just so you know, I'm at 14%. So whenever this sadly falls out is when it falls out. But I'm going to, oh, actually, we're just going down the street, aren't we? Okay, we're just going down the street. I forgot. I'll just put this right here. And, Pong is a nice guy. He's a good guy. And he's obviously a good chef. A little grasshopper on my leg. Nothing like nature. Naughty by nature. And to be clear, I'm also keenly aware of how this is not the most entertaining thing when I start cruising around. But again, part of me wanted to do it just so I could, well, see if I could do it. And I know you're looking at like my left boob right now. We're going to go back here, and here's the lady with the cafe yen. I want some iced coffee. There we go. All right. There we go. Hold on. But you know I don't like that. Hello, Cop. So they have iced coffee. Huh?
Coffee, hot coffee?
Cold, ice.
Oh, ice. Ice coffee.
Yen, right? Isn't that how you say ice?
Yen.
Yeah. Huh?
Ice coffee.
Chai, yes, please. You have the big sock? Like with the, that's the best. Okay, cool. All right, I'm at like 8%. I know this isn't going to last long, so what I'll do is I'll show you guys the beach. Then I'll come back and basically just chill out and have some coffee. Because I'm an expert at it. You know what I got to get used to? Is not freaking out about like leaving my stuff. Because, I mean, I get that, like, you know, international travel, you need to be aware of like what's going on or whatever, but I feel ridiculously safe in Thailand. Look at these boats. I love these boats, guys. These are just so cool. I love the painting. I love the flowers and the things on the front and everything. I just think it's really cool. Look at the size of those engines, man. It's serious. What's always surprising to me is the engines are massive, but the props always seem really tiny. Like I don't know. lady was like, dude, come eat, drink your coffee. And obviously these are, you know, these are like all sitting here like waiting. Okay, so we need some tourists, dude. Like we're making zero money, but those are big long-tailed boats. Like it's gonna rain anymore. So anyway, let's see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this now on purpose, as opposed to being forced to. With that, I'm gonna say it's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com. Saying, guys, hope you live in the dream. If you're not living the dream, then you're clearly not in Costa Rica. Talk to you soon. Ciao.